fact that we got some, I was most worried about what I was gonna have up on top to get screws into, but we seem to have pretty good bone stock up there to get those screws to bite in, so that was good. And you can see that once we were able to, what I did here is I put the plate down distally first, and that was kind of cocked. Well, so I guess this was cocked like that, I guess is what it was. And that radius, it kind of pushed out in the way towards the front. And so when I took and bent that plate back up in there, and that pulled that radius right back underneath where it was supposed to be. Okay, so that's good. And then of course now we have this bone graft. This is cancellous bone graft up here that we've got right there. And so that's bone graft, and we take that out of the bone marrow. Okay, and it really does three things. One is it provides a little bit of a scaffold, so a mechanical place for the new cells to kind of crawl across, okay? There are actually some bone cells, what we call osteoclasts, that make bone that probably survive getting dug out of one place and put in another place. Minimal, but there's probably a few. But the big thing that's in there is a product called bone morphogenic protein. And that's the enzyme or the molecule that causes bone to say we have to start to heal. So we just get a lot of that right in the right location. And it's what if you go into the hospital and have a bad fracture, they're gonna put a sponge in you with bone morphogenic protein, about $4,000 for that little itty bitty sponge, so. That's why we go ahead and dig it out of the bone and use the body's own bone morphogenic protein. But in a bandage now, come back next week, they'll set up an appointment for you, we're gonna take that bandage off. But because we've got all these pin track holes, so there's going to be some seepage, so we're going to want to get those open to the air, but also it was a lot of work and I wanted to use a bandage to reduce the swelling. So that's really about it. Now, Marvel's been so good and such a good dog that we're going to have to watch that he doesn't get a wild hair and decide, oh, now I've got a leg to walk on, okay? Because even though this looks pretty substantial, that'll break in a heartbeat. Okay, so we really got to keep them confined. We want them to walk, okay, but we want to use the harness and that kind of thing, and kind of not let them, almost like if we, if you think about it, almost like having a person in a walker or something where they're unloading, they're walking, but they're not putting full weight on that leg and that type of thing. And then we'll just, kind of monitor and hopefully slow and steady as she goes. Now, again, no doubt we still had infection in here. We may have to come back after this bone is healed and get that plate and screws out of there. Okay, we just don't know. We're sending home an antibiotic, so we'll see. But okay, that's about it.
All right. Will we need to change the bandages?
No, because next time we're just going to take it off. It'll stay off,
okay.
And that way all those pin tracks are going to be open to the air and they'll start to heal. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Well, thank you.
I'm Terry, by the way.
Well, I'm Terry too.
I know. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Knowing to match obviously to match our bandage to your shirt today.
That's right.
There must have been some.
You got the memo.
We did. Put him in purple. Put him in purple. Now again, Sheree probably talked about, we took grafts. That's why both stifles are clipped as well. You'll see a little bit of an incision there. He went after, he wasn't sure if he was going to get enough bone graft material from that shoulder. So you'll see an area on the shoulder also, where he went in at it again, but just trying to get a lot of graft material. So, man, oh man. What an awesome dog. All right.
Oh, he is.
So when do we see him? In a week? 2 days to change or remove the bandage, I think, is the deal. So a lot of prayer action now. Type of thing. Alrighty, well, good. The best attitude in the place.
Oh, I know.
It's craziness.
Yes. And just, my ambition is to be like Marvel.
I know. Well, that would be the thing for all of us.
To be that loving and forgiving and trusting.
Boy, whoever shot this dog needs to be shot himself. This is just the sweetest dog.
I would have gone and done that last night while I was waiting if I had known where to find him.
Well, I mean to tell you, some dogs maybe, but not this dog. Just not,
you know,
I just don't get
for
it.
the most part, I can rub his belly and forget about what happened, what was done to him, and just think about his future, but
Yeah,
while I was waiting last night, I was thinking, oh, if I could find that guy.
no, I think we all would kinda have to agree with you a little bit, but anyway, alrighty, well, we'll see you next week. Like I said, make sure again with all this rain,
We'll
keep
keep
that
that.
bandage, really keep after it, bad things happen under bandages, and we cannot lose.
They're gonna pretty much just keep him in the garage.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
just keep him
Keep
inside.
pads
Good.
down for him, so.
Good traction in there, make sure he's got, cause he was kinda up and had put that leg down, that's the first time for me I had really seen where he was
Yeah.
trying to use it, so.
I've been making him walk, he loves to go outside, and so we can make a deal that if he wants to go outside, he has to walk.
Yeah.
If I want him to come back inside, I have to drag him, but,
Yeah,
But-
well, like I said, right now with the wet weather, we just don't wanna create an issue under that bandage. We have Dr. Dew out of town now for a few days, so we wanna make sure that we're careful and stay on track. Alright, good. See you next week.
okay. I missed you. Good.
So also with the bandage, you just wanna make sure that it doesn't get too tight, so make sure you can get fingers and make sure his toes aren't swelling. You can see there's lots of, ability to get fingers in there. If you can't, then that means that it's swelling, it can have a tourniquet effect, which obviously would be very bad.
Yes.
So if that happens, give us a call or go to your vet and, might have to be removed early if that's the case.
Where's the pain patch? Is it
On his
the
back,
outside?
on his lower back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's laying on it, you can't see it right
Okay.
now.
You covering it up. Are you hiding it?
He's such a good boy. He's
One
such a
day,
good boy.
we're gonna get that haircut going in a decent direction. Or you're gonna be naked woman.
Well, this should be the last time he needs to be clipped. I mean, we're really anticipating that we're in the home stretch here. So, and the advantage to the external fixator coming off is when he comes back again, he shouldn't need any sedation, expense will be very minimal, it'll only be for the x-rays. So, we are pretty much through this. I think if we can just keep him from overdoing it and get that bone built up.
I'll guard him with my life. Are you gonna stand up for me or what the hell?